44th pick. You know what I mean? The 144th pick for the Cleveland Browns. He's the son of my walking talker. He's the son of the guy that I did the walk and talk with, you know what I mean, Deion Sanders. So you can check out the walk and talk too, you know, because to get him back on the field and messing around with him and having fun. And I love at the end of that walk and talk what he said, you just want to feel what it feels like to be on that. I'm not going to get distracted with that. You go check that out for yourself right now. But we're not talking about Deion. I am talking about Deion because I'm talking about his son. They got picked 144. I said, wow. This is crazy. You guys do see Shedeur Sanders will be starting at quarterback Friday in the preseason open. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. Yo, can you believe that? Can you believe this, how this plays out? You can't make this up. If you hire the greatest writers, they can't write this up. You can't AI this up. AI. Give me the craziest, wildest story that you can know. You can't even, it blows my mind. I wonder, what did they say when they said, well, we got to start him? What do you mean you got to start him? What the hell do you mean you got to start him? Now, this is after the owner came out, I don't even want to address what he was saying because it made no sense. They told me when I drove home that night that we were going to drive, no way. That was clearly, I'm pretty sure he was just trying to give the GM some power and some credit, but he did a poor job because he boo-booed all over Shedeur in whatever he was trying to do. But you're the fourth quarterback, and now you're going to get a start after dropping all the way down. You were the fifth quarterback in the room, really, because Deshaun Watson was, above you. And you went the fifth round, 144. I don't know. I don't know how I'll see certain things, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just say it this way. I don't know how else to see certain things. So I always look for God in all things. Because I gotta have life make sense to me. I was talking about that when I was talking about the immigration situation here. When someone has worked that hard and put in the time and did it right, it should work out for them. They've earned that. That's being just. Being fair is giving everybody an opportunity, but being just is what you're ultimately seeking. And I'm telling you, let me tell you, my mom always said things work in threes, and I'm just gonna tell you like this. I thought, wow. When I got this, wow, what a play. Let me give it to you. Works in threes. Deion Sanders, we talked about it on draft day. Finds out he has cancer. thinking about on this one day that he prepared for 20-some years, him and his boys, I'm done. And then you get this horrific situation that happens with his boy, who all they've ever dreamed of was getting him drafted above Deion Sanders. And he's going to suffer through some great pain, dealing with a pretty tough situation. But in the end, everybody called and asking for prayers and wondering what was wrong, made everybody tune in when he spoke here with me and in his press conferences. And that great thing he went through, that great mess turned into a message, and everybody starting to go get checked. Who knows how many lives he's going to save? But he went through something to get there. In the end, God put him on top because everybody that was worried about him tuned in, and everybody that was worried about him got a message to worry about everybody that you love and go get checked out. You see, that's when I say what the devil means for evil. God makes it good. And then I turned around and saw it not one time, but 2 times. Because I watched Shannon Sharpe over at the Hall of Fame. And I saw just how he moved, and I saw all his interviews. I sat in the Nishka luncheon and I heard him speak. I heard the tears roll down his face as he sat in there with the great men that he has admired and has played the game at the highest level, balling like a kid because his big brother is getting what he deserves, his rightfully spot at home in the NFL Hall of Fame. I couldn't help but sit there and think all that he had gone to prior to coming to the Hall of Fame with the lawsuit and the settlement, and you think you're good. Everybody said, well, just take it out, you'll be back. And then, no, trust me, I know. And then you don't get the job back. No, ever, it's gone. And then everybody comes out and said, well, no, we were just lying. We always had a consensual relationship. We just played the game and got some money. And everybody says, oh, it's okay, let's go. Even though we all know it was a lie from the go. It's just, But in the end, what I saw him experience, what I saw him share, I'm telling you, man, all that he had gone through, even leading up to that day, to see him at the Hall of Fame, and then Sterling at the end of his speech bring him up there and hold him tight, to only brothers to ever get in an NFL Hall of Fame. What the devil meant for evil, God brought it good. Now, all of those eyes that were watching Shannon through his mess got to see him stand up there. Your eyes, people that don't even watch football, don't even know anything about the NFL Hall of Fame, but they know they saw Shannon Sharpe's name and they knew they just saw it in the mess, so they had tuned in and got the message. What is that message, Mike? I'm gonna bring the message back to you by tying it in to the protected 144 that he pulled out, and that 144th pick was Shedeur Sanders. In Revelations, they talk about what God sent the angels to 4 corners of the earth and say, you stop the destruction until I pull in and seal my 144. I told you that 144 is the seal